So Bill, tell me, what are some of the real advantages of having an automated lighting system in your home?
Danny, we like to talk about making the case for lighting control, and that case is comfort and convenience, aesthetics and ambience in the home, safety and security, and then energy savings and energy management.
Boy, that's pretty important these days. Try to save money on your energy bill any way at all. And I guess if you can adequately control the lighting, that's a big energy user in the home.
It really is. You really have an energy management function in the house. When you hit good night at night, A, it's real convenient, don't have to worry about the kids upstairs, but B, I know that house is off and things haven't been left on.
Well, now I know that you installed the system in this home after it was already built for a number of years, and I know you used a wireless system, and boy, I bet that made the homeowner pretty happy not having to tear out a bunch of walls.
Oh, it was the only really practical way to get a lighting control system in the home. Otherwise, we would be ripping through the walls and getting new wire in. But this way, we just replaced a switch in the wall with a new dimmer. And once we got all the dimmers installed, they start talking to a central controller, and there we have it.
Now, so all these different devices talking to a center control. What does that center control look like?
It's really very simple. It's like the look of a wireless router in the house. Here, we're going to take a look.
All right, great.
Danny, it's just right over here. This is a fairly new installation, so the homeowner's still playing with it a little bit, figuring out what he wants it to do and where it's going to be located. But that controller can be located up above a piece of furniture, maybe even inside an armoire somewhere. So it doesn't have to be out in the open, but while you're playing with it and getting things set up, obviously you want to have it accessible.
But now this is enough to send all these signals all over a home.
Oh yeah, and the best location is obviously in the center of the house, the nearest to the center point, because then it's going to send the radio signals out to every one of the devices that we've installed in the house, and then there's your whole centrally controlled system. But inside that controller is a clock, is the ability to create 100 scenes, and when I say scenes, like evening scenes and entertainment scenes and dining and landscape and so forth, and also the clock where I can have things turned on by dusk and dawn or exact time of the day, and I don't even have to turn on my landscape lights, for instance.
Oh, boy, that is pretty convenient. Now, so this is sending a signal out, and if you have a standard, say a single pole switch or a dimmer or whatever, you simply take that out, and the controller that you provide goes in that, and it receives the signal from
That's right. There's a radio transceiver built into every one of the dimmers. And so once you do your simple installation and you provide power back to it, make sure you turn it off before you do that.
All right.
Then they start talking to the central controller and you do some simple programming.
Okay, well, you've told me all these things and what it can do. Show me how it works.
Great.
Now, this is a pretty impressive room and a lot of lights that have to be controlled.
It really is, Danny. It's a great example of lighting control and what it can do for you. For example, right here, this was a double gang switch just with single pole switches on them, and now we've replaced it with a dimmer, a 3-button dimmer and a 1-button dimmer. The neat thing here is now you can label the buttons to exactly what you want them to control. For instance, here's the fireplace light that's turning on and off the light in front of the fireplace.
I see.
The homeowners create a pathway here to light a path at nighttime from the living area back to the bedroom. So it really makes it convenient for them to get there, and then they can turn it off on the other side.
Oh, that's convenient.
And they've created a living scene that actually turns on the lights exactly the way she wants to entertain guests here when they have folks over.
I see.
There's an art light that highlights or accents the art in this room.
I've never seen an art switch before. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's really neat, but it just shows it's just up to the homeowner's imagination what they can do with a lighting control system.
So now the central controller we just looked at is sufficient to handle the signals throughout this house?
In most homes it is. Say 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, that one controller will handle it just fine. In a larger home like this one, we do have some repeaters that carry the signal out even further down the hallways and so forth.
All right, well that makes sense then. Now, as far as security, just having more lights on anywhere is a deterrent to criminals and someone wanting to break in the home, but what are other aspects of this system that will make people just feel more comfortable at home?
It really can help that quite a bit by any security system can send a signal to the lighting system to flash lights in the case of distress. There's an alert button, for instance, where if I'm out of town and my wife hears something go bump in the middle of the night, she can hit the alert button and the house is lit up like Fort Knox.
Oh, great.
We also have a key fob remote as an accessory, so you never have to go into a darkened home again. You hit the key fob when you're driving up the driveway and it lights a pathway into the house. A real sense of comfort.
Well, you've got all the answers to lighting needs and everything, but here's a question by now our viewers have. This sounds like a very expensive system, but I assume with the retrofit wireless system, it's really made this a fairly reasonable option for people.
Yeah, technology is really bringing down the costs, and you know, homeowners can shop around for various systems out there, but in an average-sized home, a homeowner can spend anywhere from $500 to $5,000, depending on how many bells and whistles they want.
Okay, it's like anything else that you buy.
Exactly right.